Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, in this analysis. And of the better part of this week, the small parties within Kenya Kwanzaa have been complaining that they were sidelined by the big parties. And that onslaught was led by two leaders, that is William Kabogo, who is vying for Kiambu governor, and Mwangi Kiunjuri, who is the party leader of TSP, and also Irungu Nyakera, who is vying for governor in Murang'a and is the party leader of the Farmers Party. The small parties were complaining that they have not been receiving funds from the campaign kitty despite of an earlier promise that they were going to benefit from that. Secondly, there was an incident that was reported in the midweek that some leaders, some deputy president, some leaders in Kenya Kwanzaa, who allegedly were stuck somewhere after they flew and they hired a chopper. Now that was supposed to be paid from, that was supposed to be facilitated from the campaign kitty, but there was a mishap and the payment had not been remitted. So what happened is the pilot decided to just fly back to Wilson because the payment had not been done. So these are occurrences that has emerged just in the better part of this week. Keen observation of Musalia Mudavadi's rallies in Western, where they were dispatched there with also Moses Wetangula to counter Raila Odinga's 5-day tour there, is also undertones of a less funded campaign in Western Kenya. Of the videos that emerged that the turnout was low, UDA leadership in Western Kenya the first 2 days did not tag along, and Cleophas Malala also dropped the image of deputy president in his campaign photo, even though the UDA team was initially financing him and was insisting that he had to campaign for the UDA candidates. So there is a storm because even in Kakamega, the ANC is demanding that UDA to withdraw all their candidates in Vihiga. Not in Kakamega, rather in Vihiga. So in the light of all these squabbles and differences that are emerging between the small parties in Kenya Kwanzaa, there is a perception that is emerging, there is a report that is emerging that perhaps William Ruto is just toning down his expenditure on the campaigns. Official campaign period is starting tomorrow, the 29th of May. That is not tomorrow, but rather on Sunday, the 29th of May. That's the official campaign period, and that's when then they are going to hit the road. For just someone who does not still have maybe this bit of this info, in campaigns, or rather in presidential campaign, there are three levels. There are the think tanks. These are just the team of strategists. They organize on where the presidential candidate is going to be, how the campaigns are going to be maybe organized. They also work on the messaging. What is the kind of information that they need to give out when they go to a specific area, on the delivery, how it is going to be delivered. The think tanks also work on the propaganda, and propaganda is a tool in politics. Let me just stress this a bit. Sometimes in politics, people don't say the truth because they know that the masses already know the truth. So they opt to tell the lies, are packaged as propaganda, because first, the propagandas go very fast, they reach unreached audience, and they are very convincing. Third, the second tier is the financiers. Financiers, these are just people that might have the interest in someone's government. Perhaps like for Raila Odinga, the financiers, you can put the Mount Kenya billionaires and maybe foreign financiers. For deputy president, he might be having local and foreign financiers. Then the third tier is the mouthpiece and the campaign machineries. Now these are the leaders. For example, Deputy President is a mouthpiece, Rigathi Gachagua, Moses Kuria, and Aisha Jumwa. Those are the three levels. Unfortunately, the misery of the campaign kitty in UDA, or rather in William Ruto's campaign, is a misery because he is the think tank, he is the financer, and he is the mouthpiece. So he's really in a situation where he's managing everything. And that means he has a decision to say, today I'm giving you this X money, tomorrow I'm giving you this, the other day I'm giving you this. And again, with the campaigns now heating up, there are different forms on how they are being done, because there are those who they go to when they host a rally. For example, on ODM side, someone was telling me that Joho was saying in 2017, the moment Raila steps in Mombasa, Raila do not even spend a single shilling. Everything is normally catered for in terms of any rally or any other event that Raila is conducting in Mombasa. So there are different forms of how campaigns are financed. There are some financiers that just offer their choppers and say, I'm giving you my chopper, your work is just to pay the pilot and maybe do fueling. There are other resources that are provided. Maybe someone has an hotel in Mombasa or somewhere. So what he does, he says, whenever you come to campaign, perhaps in Nyeri, I'm going to offer accommodation free of charge or something. And that is how the campaigns are facilitated. So there is also, those are the forms I wanted you to understand, so that when we say that this expenditure is toned down, it's a holistic approach. It is not pegged on just the cash. So ladies and gentlemen, why do you think this is happening? From where I am, the overall view is that Deputy President is not spending the billions. Let us look at why this is happening. If you're watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, I want to humbly request you to subscribe to our channel and also click the notification bell. I want to humbly request you again, kindly like our videos. When you like our videos, through this, you're supporting this channel. My first understanding on what might have necessitated this strategy by Deputy President is a failing strategy. From many analysts, and even when you see, even when you talk to people who support Deputy President, in this channel I have a couple of many, and we talk, of course, we do peer analysis, and you will find out that there is a general consensus that Raila Odinga stands a prime chance to win this presidency. Now, what is happening is the strategies that they are laying out seems to be failing, and the failing strategy can be seen by, you look at, like, after Rigathi Gachagua was picked, after the running mate gig, the person who outshined the other in the running mate gig is Raila Odinga. The kind of reception that Martha Karua is receiving in central Kenya is a worrying call to the presidential strategies around Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Now, this, even in terms of messaging, the kind of euphoria that bottom-up economic model was attracting, or rather the kind of euphoria that it was injecting in the presidential campaigns, is no longer there. You will observe that nowadays, the people that used to be planted to bring the wheelbarrows or to provide to do the publicity gigs, it is no longer happening. This is because the playing field is a bit leveled. In fact, I agree with people who say that if elections are done today, no one will have a straight win on the 50+1. This was not the situation a year ago. At this moment, at this time in May, William Ruto was the 5th president. But now, with the merging of Raila's political game and President Uhuru Kenyatta playing the master cards behind the scenes, there is a perception, there is a feeling on William Ruto that this is not his time, and perhaps he must look at after. But I want us to also point out on the flusing intel. Deputy President can conduct his own authentic opinion poll, leave alone what the other private firms are doing. He has a capacity to even do a sampling size of 100,000 or even 200,000 people to conduct an opinion poll and find out, am I going to win this election? The losing intel, maybe he is already finding there is a feeling that he's going to lose. That is why this week Musalia Mudavadi was tasked, and of course I will one day do an analysis on that, he's been tasked with one sole responsibility to create a narrative that the government wants to rig the general election. The rigging issue is something that to some voters it can be perceived as they are feeling they are going to lose. Now what does he have to do? It is now at a time when there is no turning back. You cannot front another candidate. You have to make your strategies progressive. One of them would be to maybe reduce your campaign expenditure so that you just make sure you go through the campaign cycle, but save a lot to do post-election deals. Because again, at some point, he can use that money to play opposition politics to make sure that he can still stick around with Musalia Mudavadi and the rest of the team and play opposition for the next 2 years. Then after that, maybe if there is any constitutional realignment or any other thing that is tilting political waves, he can sink in. That is a probability. But do you also, I just captured something that it is at this moment that government is keeping vigilance on campaign expenditure. Can I say this? Fred Matiang'i recently was saying, and he was meeting some civil servants, I think somewhere, he was saying that if Kenyans are not very careful, then there are rogue elements that are wash that are going to be re-injected in the parliament. What could this mean? That maybe what this is signaling is the government is increasing the vigilante on money, how the kind of money that is being injected in the campaigns. That is why it is in the month of May that the story of the 25 billion scandal emerged. It emerged from the blues because it is not something that happened this year. It is something that happened in 2020. So because William Ruto might have realized that part of his campaign kitty is being infiltrated, the government is watching, and government can seal the loopholes. He will rather prefer not to go extravaganza and not to go extraordinary, just spend as he can, but not that one that can raise eyebrows. I can tell you that if today one of the presidential candidates would rise and start dishing 1,000 shillings per candidate to every person, is going to be asked where that money is coming from. So because of that government in vigilance, maybe part of his campaign kitty is coming from the foreign donors, and so he has decided that he has to tone down so that he also doesn't attract attention. Lastly, I was doing a peer analysis. One of my friends was telling me, oh, maybe the coffers are dry. I don't want to underestimate that. Do you think that also his coffers has gone dry? No. I can repeat. If there is a politician that has all the resources to fund his campaigns, that is Deputy President William Ruto. He started organizing and planning for this contest, I think 9 years ago. Raila Odinga was organized for 2013. He was again out of government. 2017 again organized. Then this is another third attempt he's been trying. That is in the span of 10 years. He's been organizing for 3 general elections. Within 10 years. William Ruto took the 10 years to organize for 1 general election in 2022. That's why I can tell you that you cannot underestimate the use of money. But does it also mean the coffers are running dry? I want to leave that for you. Give us your opinion on this.